Hi, this is Kevin. My family and I own a craft barbecue joint in Canton, Georgia. We do barbecue our way while paying homage to our past generations. We look forward to sharing our recipes, stories, tips, and tricks from our journey. Together, we are 441 South. And this is Barbecue the Hard Way. All right, guys, so here it is. This is a 1855 upper 2/3 choice brisket. This is what we use every day in the restaurant, and we're gonna get it trimmed up. A couple of tools that I like to use, of course, a boning knife, and then I use a slicer. The slicer is critical. You can get some, I think it is, you can get some really long strokes on there and really clean cuts. So we've gotten to where we use these a lot, not just the boning knife where you get the short little cuts and the little divots and everything. So we'll get that started. We're gonna trim. We save everything off of our briskets. So got our bowl to catch our trimmings. So let's get started. Always cut your brisket on that decal fat so you don't score up the brisket. So I'm gonna pat it off just a little bit. It's been aging in that bag for a couple of weeks now, so yeah. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our boning knife. We're just gonna start scribing down through that piece of decal fat right there, and it'll fall along that seam. All right, so we got the decal fat out. I'm gonna flip it over. This right here is your mohawk. We always trim that down, trim that off. So we're gonna get that started. That's how we go next. Mohawk, I use it for sausage. You can do a lot of things. You can grind it. There's a lot of silver skin and stuff in there, so we try not to use it for burgers and stuff. But anything that cooks a long time, you're gonna use that. You can grind that up. It's great for the sausage. I trimmed some of that silver skin off of there, sinew in there. So we've got that trimmed down. We've got this line of fat right along here. I'm going to just trim that on down a little bit more. You want it to, you don't want to scalp it, but you want to get it close as you can. All right, that's pretty good right there. You know, and always round your edges. So we're going to come back and take care of this side when we get back to that end. All right, so we've got that side done. This side over here is where your heaviest fat is. We want to take some of this down. So usually on the side where the mohawk, you've got the thinner end. The fat's not as thick on this end. So we're going to take this side down right here. And that's one thing this knife right here is good for. You can just roll it down that edge. A lot of people will just come in and cut that edge, profile it, and just cut it straight across, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I've just found I can save a lot of it where I'm not having to take so much off, just rolling that edge down, just like it is right there. All right, so we're getting close. One thing that I like to do, aerodynamic wise, when we're cooking, so we're getting close. So we've got this side down pretty much down in where we want it. Up here, I'm gonna round this top edge off and just round all this over. Be like Kev, you're cutting a lot off, but if you're not, it's gonna burn up when you cook. So why leave it on there, you know? You have to excuse me. I don't have the best vision in the world, so I just try to do the best I can. More by feel with me, which is probably not a bad thing. It is by sight. So all right. So I've got it pretty much. Let me take a little bit more off right here. It's a little pointed. There. Okay, so we've got it pretty much rounded up. So right here, we've got this thin piece right there. It's just gonna burn up. We're gonna come in and we're gonna profile it down, get that brisket shaped up just like we want it. Get all this thin off right here. I'm gonna start right here and you're gonna be like, wow, that sure is a lot, but. All right, so we got that off. We'll finish trimming this up. I'm gonna round this edge over here. I would say we're good. I would say we're good. So there you go. That's what it's going to look like when you're done. A lot of people will come in and take a lot of this fat and stuff off. It's going to cook off. Like, you can if you want. Like, if you're cooking one brisket at home, by all means, trim as much as you need, trim as much as you can to get it perfect. You can work on this thing for a long time. But as many briskets as we cook every day, we tend to leave a lot of that on. I'm going a little further than I would. The shape is right, the fat trim's right on it, and that's usually about as far as I go. I could come down a little bit more right here, but usually when you're done and you've got that on the block, you're gonna maybe take a little bit more of that off, that fat right there off the mohawk. Sorry. There we go, folks. Again, like I said, I can continue to work on this thing for quite some time. But we've got it pretty much where we want it. Doesn't look bad. It's got some little nicks in it where it was trimmed where it was cut off at the cut house, but other than that, all right. So we got our pit running. Let's see, we're right around 225, which is fine. We're puffing a little smoke. Dirty smoke ain't never hurt nobody. So I didn't have a squirt bottle here at the house, but this isn't just straight mustard. This is a combination on our slather that we use. You don't have to use a slather. This thing's tacky enough. The rub would adhere to it and it would be fine. I've just always used one. We trim a lot of briskets and then we put them in the cooler to go on the next couple of days. We'll trim them ahead so they get a little dry. So we've always used a slather. So it's 2 parts mustard, 1 part Worcestershire sauce. I know other people do that too, so it's not like we're doing anything too different than everybody else. So light coat, I don't really go heavy on it, just enough to, there's a little piece right there I need to take out. Just a real light coat on it. Like I said, guys, I can't see that well, so so I rely more on feel than anything. So one thing that that I do is I put our rub on in 2 stages, and so that way I start with my black pepper. 16 mesh is pretty much the standard. Shake it high so it goes on evenly. Don't forget your sides. All right, then we're going back, and all the ingredients of our rubs will be listed below. This is our second coating. So I use a local garlic company. It's called Soul to Belly. They have this ultra garlic powder that is unbelievable. And if you're in the Atlanta area, North Georgia area, hit them up, get some of their garlic paste. It's amazing. But I go kind of heavy on this. It's our salt, pepper, garlic. Well, we put the pepper on separate, but our salt and garlic mixture. A few other spices in there. Again, I can't see that well, so I may be really over seasoning this. I don't think so. It looks pretty much right on. So yeah, we got it. I'm gonna put a little slather on top. Rub it in. You know, I was contemplating on even doing a brisket video because there's so many of them out there. But you know, I still have a lot of people that come in the restaurant and they're every day and they're like, hey, I cook at home. How do you cook briskets? How do you do your brisket? How is it that your brisket is different than everybody else's and stuff? And I don't know that it necessarily is, but I know that key factor is love. Like we really strive to put our heart into everything we do. From the guys in the smokehouse to the guys in the back, we try to be consistent every day. And this is part of the consistency is, you know, just the extra step of not mixing the 2 rubs together because the pepper's got a different weight than the salt and all, and it doesn't seem to coat the same when you mix it together. So, but yeah, I contemplated not doing a brisket video, and because again, there's a lot out there. But that being said, I think there's a lot of tips and tricks that we can learn from everybody. Every day I learn something new. And so you may watch 100 brisket videos and you may watch ours and learn another little tip, another little trick, just like I do from watching others. So we got this going. We got our Moberg at 225 and it's still climbing. It's getting up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this on. We're gonna go ahead and get this on. So all right, so I've got the brisket seasoned up, trimmed up, I'm ready to get it on. So let's get it on. Fuck me.